I wouldn't be surprised anyway. Okay, here. Let's take these guys. Yeah, let's log exceptions. Why would we not log exceptions? And we don't need DILD because stuff can be loaded whenever it wants. Yeah, and stop on debugger. This I guess is a legacy thing. I mean, I used to use that stuff. Okay, so we're gonna run now. Alright, it's running. So I note right off from the start there's these NSDate auto-release things happening. That might be worth looking into because the previous crash happened due to NSDate. Yeah. I bet. Yeah, that's a good place to look. Yeah, why don't you make some more sounds? Cause the what? Oh no. Oh, it quit. Okay, great, it quit. So, did we get any messages? Not at all. So see, it says it thinks it's running, but the play bar says it's stopped because there's no pause option. It says it's paused, but it looks like it's dead to me. You can't type anything there. You can type things here though. Okay. What's interesting is that this debug log, so this is the console output, I guess. And the stuff here is the complete standard out plus standard error or something. So this one has like, it's just noting that it's recording this stuff. But anyway, this NSDate thing is suspicious, so let's look at that first. And I can't remember where NSDate's used, so we'll use our alias findmm, and that's just a command I use find with the find command in xargs over files. And we're going to look for NSDate. Yeah. And looks like how many, we'll just count the retains and releases. How's that? One, how's this? Grep retain WC for word count and -L for line count. So there are 13 retains, and note that they're all called all the NSDate lines have either time or date. Well, that doesn't help me, does it? But anyway, there's a surprisingly large amount of retains. Yeah. So looks like 10 of them, well, 11 of them end with time. So I'm going to do time release. This is getting a little ugly, but no. Well, when you release the object, won't it be last shoot time release? Or auto release? I mean, I think it'd be release. Ah. Yeah, so here's when you do time release. This is only 5. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So why don't you show me which 5 those are? So let's see. Shooter, okay, this happens in shooter, an exit gate. So I'm guessing that it's not really a problem if they are over retained. We'll just get a memory leak, which is a problem, but it's not going to crash so quickly. It's not going to do the horrible kind of crash that it is. So bounce wall has 2 retains and 1 effect entity, mic entity. The latest one we played with was not bounce wall. It was... The thing is, none of these are really recent except for this guy, input manager. And that's a date. It ends with date. Like that. Okay. I mean, that looks okay, right? Last mic mute date release. So it's used twice. The first one is the init call, and the second one is probably the in update. When we do the actual mute thing, we throw away the old one and then we retain a new one. And the auto release thing here, that's probably due to I don't know, there's probably some thread in which one of these gets called. There are no other exceptions, just a crash. Sudden and violent crash. So this kind of stuff really sucks. Okay, what will debug do that's different? Well, there is no diagnostics, there's only info and arguments. Let's try it. I don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, you cannot do that. I'm just going to put one on debugger just to see what happens. Okay, so stepped into the debugger. Okay, that's nice. We can fix this. Apparently there's a release happening here. Or not? What is this? Oh, this looks dangerous. Okay, let's look at this. This is input manager update. Yeah, this index -1 business. Size -1 is not valid when you have nothing. So where is that gonna be? So that's input manager. And that's line. How do you get the lines in the gutters again? I guess I'm gonna start configuring Xcode to be like my good old Xcode 3. And it took a while to get Xcode 3 like Xcode 2.5 and 2. Whatever. Yeah, see there's key bindings. We can do indent. Yeah, that should be Control Option D. Yeah, what's that? What's the difference between these two? Re-indent. Anyway. We're not going to be using that anyway, so it's not a big deal. Show the line numbers. And that's all. That's all you have to do for now. We could distribute the build to this box. I don't know if that will help it though. It's not. Speed isn't an issue right now. Okay, so line 165. Alt GG. 165. Obj C. So we have this guy and input buffers. So this assumes we have one input buffer minimum. And why do we do that? This is a vector. Can we assume that we have one? If we can, we should have a comment. Okay, so we start here. If we're in here, we have at least one. So that's the justification. So we should make that comment. Yeah. But we're not in that loop anymore. You see, we're not in that loop at this point. And what is recent timestamp used for? I think it's used, so that should be the most recent. Yeah. So that's only used within this loop. Never mind. We do check the size, so if there is a size, then we do this. I'm not reading well today. Oh, but this water's really good. All right. So I don't see what the problem is with this line.